Our daily lives are busy. Engage us in work, where we stare at a screen all day, which gradually affects our eyesight and overall health, along with a considerable energy bill. What if you could force yourself to take a break and save some energy at the same time? Today, I am going to show you a simple trick to create a schedule that automatically puts your computer to sleep and wake up at your own convenience. Did you know that all computers can be easily set to help us cut our power bill and have a healthy daily lifestyle? Keep watching and you will learn how. Welcome guys, I hope you are having a pleasant day. Together, we'll set our computers to schedule their nap time and wake up time so that you get to have time for yourself and save a little bit on that power bill. This simple automation will help you build healthier tech habits, and it's all done using a powerful built-in Windows tool. Let's get to it. Alright, let's get into the step by step. Now, this is the most important part of the video, so feel free to pause and follow along at your own pace. To do this correctly, we need to create two separate events, one for hibernation and one for the wake up. Important heads up. Before we start, a word of caution. The commands we are about to use are powerful. The process is perfectly safe and reliable and will not damage your computer hardware in any way. But if you run into issues like tasks not running at the scheduled time, which usually is due to settings, I'll show you how to check those in case something doesn't work right away. It's a normal part of getting a computer to do exactly what you want. Also, if you have set the computer to sleep or hibernate in power options when you're not around, then after the computer wakes up in the morning while you are probably asleep or getting ready and the computer is left idling for that set time in the power options, it might go into a hybrid sleep or hibernate state, which then you will have to manually wake it up and log in first. So if you want the computer all set and ready to go state when you sit down to continue with your work, adjust those settings to a comfortable time for you. First, we need to make sure that your computer is ready for hibernation. It is usually on by default, but it's good to check to avoid bugs. Hit the Windows key, type command prompt or CMD. In the list that pops up above, you will see the command prompt tab. Right-click it and select Run as Administrator. Click Yes in the dialog box that pops up. The command prompt window starts up and you will see the prompt showing System Drive letter followed by the Windows folder and the System32 folder, which tells you the currently selected disk location and the flashing horizontal cursor. This location is what Windows defaults to run its various tasks for the user. Type the following command exactly as you see it in the visual. Power CFG space / hibernate space on. and then press the enter key. If you see a success message or nothing at all, it means it is ready. You can now close the window. In case you are keen to know what Power CFG Hibernate on means, we are asking Windows if power configuration Hibernate is set to on. It's as simple as that. Next is to make sure all wake timers are enabled in Windows. To check and confirm this, hit the Windows key or type in the search control panel as you see in the visual. Then select control panel from the list above to open the control panel window. Click or tap on System and Security. Next, click on Power Options. The Power Plans window opens. Whatever plan that is already enabled, there is a link named Change Plan Settings towards the right. Click on it. Next window displays the plan settings for the battery and power adapter if it is a notebook or mobile workstation, and just the power if it is a desktop or an all-in-one. There is a link named Change Advanced Power Settings. Click or tap on it. The Power Options pop-up settings window opens up. In it, point to the Sleep option and expand it. You can see that there are 4 settings. Only click or tap on Allow Wake Timers setting. Generally on mobile computers, the settings for on battery and plugged in are enabled, unless the user has made changes deliberately, such as on computers that are continuously used round the clock. On a server or desktop workstation that is being constantly used for production purposes, these settings would be ideally disabled to stop the running applications from getting interrupted. If these settings are disabled, enable them now by clicking on the disabled link that turns into a drop-down list that shows 3 options. Select the enable options from that list. Do this for both on battery and plugged in. If they are enabled already, leave it as it is and click OK. Or if you had to enable, click Apply first and then click OK. The Power Options pop-up will close, and in the plan settings window that was previously there, click or tap on Save Changes and reboot your computer. You are now done with step 1. Next, we will create what is called a batch file. A batch file has code in separate lines. We use batch files for different purposes. For instance, concatenate a list of commands with arguments that might not run or be executed successfully in conventional environments. I will explain this in more detail as we proceed. And follow the visuals here as usual. Hit the Windows key and type Notepad and double click on the Notepad app from the top of the list. If you are on Windows 11 environment and have set Notepad settings to open a new Notepad files in new tabs, you may have to go to Files menu and hit New tab to start a new empty file. Now type the line as you see in the visual, and when you're done, hit the enter key. In the next line, type timeout space /T60. This tells Windows to start a timer for 60-second period. Once you are done with typing, hit the enter key. In the next line, type shutdown space /H, and when done, hit the enter key. Each of those commands and arguments must be on their own lines, separated from each other. This is why we used the enter key to separate them. If they are not separated, Windows will treat them as one long line of code and wouldn't be able to interpret and generate errors. Next, hit the File menu and select Save As and save it to a location you can remember. For the purpose of this tutorial, I am saving it to the desktop. Give it a suitable name, but the extension must be BAT. I am naming it hibernate.bat, and BAT stands for batch file. It's a shortened form. Click Save, go to the location you just saved the batch file and confirm it is there. One of my practices is I will close the opened notepad file, then open it from the saved location to confirm the content inside is what I just entered. It is a foolproof method. You could try it now and continue. You are now done with step 1. Did you know Windows has a time-tested tool that general users aren't aware about? It's the task scheduler. Software developers have been using this for decades to automate complex tasks to be run at any given time. I too have been using it to automate many tasks, for instance, servers and users' computers. Today, you are going to get that piece of the action so that you can do your own automation. So get comfortable and follow along. Just remember one important thing. When you open Task Scheduler, do not alter anything that is already running in there. Those were created by Windows and by other software manufacturers of the applications that are currently running in your computer. But don't get alarmed. All you have to do is not change their properties and you're good to go. Throughout this tutorial, you will be working on the Task Scheduler. So when I say open or start Task Scheduler, this is where you come and refer. You can also check on the chapters I have included in the description below and immediately move to any part of the tutorial. To open or start the Task Scheduler, hit the Windows key on your keyboard where the search list pops up. Then type in Task Scheduler. Before you know it, it is listed right on top of the list as Task Scheduler app. Point your mouse to it and click it, or if you are on a touch screen, tap it. The Task Scheduler app has now opened up. If this was the first time you have opened it, here's a short introduction to the interface. The Task Scheduler visual interface has 3 different window panes. Leftmost is the folder list. Center is a summary or the list of tasks in the library. And the rightmost is the operational links or actions area. Point and select the folder called Task Scheduler Library. You will now see the center pane is populated by all the tasks waiting to run. Once again, try not to alter any of these tasks unless they were created by you. You can click and select any of them and view their properties which appear below this list if you want to learn more about them. By the end of this tutorial, you will have learned some powerful features of this simple tool. Let's now get on with it. Now that we have done checking and setting the most important system prerequisites, let's make the task that puts your computer to hibernation. Start up Task Scheduler if it is not already opened. In the right hand panel, click Create Task. The Create Task window opens. Click on General tab if it is not selected by default. In the name field, give it a name of your choice. I prefer auto-hibernate. And a description to remind you what it does, like hibernate my computer at midnight. I am leaving it blank. Under the security options, enable the radio button, run whether user is logged on or not. Remember we discussed earlier of having a specific purpose for doing this? That is why we need to do this setting. Next, check the box for Run with highest privileges. This setting is important so that your system has all the authority to run this task without you having to put in your login credentials every time. Windows will handle it safely. Next, we can opt to select which operating system environment we are running. Under the Configure for, click the drop-down list and select the operating system you are currently running. Windows 10 or Windows 11, whichever your system is. Even if you are running Windows 11, you may not see Windows 11. It is perfectly normal. You can select Windows 10 instead and it will still work. Don't click on the OK button yet. There's more to do. Go back up and select the Trigger tab. In this page, you need to set which time you want the task to be executed. Let's set it. Click the New button. The new Trigger Settings page will load. Under the Settings, select Daily Radio button and confirm the date you are doing this and set the time as shown. I am setting 23:59:00 hours or 11:59 p.m. I use the 24-hour clock. In your computer it may be AM and PM. Click on Daily again to move the focus out of the time field. If you are on the move always and want the local time to control this, check the Synchronize across time zones, otherwise leave it unchecked. Make sure the recur every field is set to 1 days by default. If not, enter it. This sets the task to be run every day. Next, make sure the enabled option is checked. Leave all other options unchecked. Next, under Begin the task, make sure Honor Schedule is selected by default. If not, then use the drop-down menu and select it. Click OK to close the new Trigger Settings page. Move up again and click on the Action tab. This action page lets you select and run a program or an app at the trigger time you set in the trigger page. Let's now set the action we want Task Scheduler to take when the time is triggered in the trigger page. Remember, during our preparations, prerequisites, we created a Hibernation batch file. Now, we are going to tell Task Scheduler to run that batch file at the trigger time. Click the new button to load in the action settings window. By default, under the action field, Start a Program should be selected. If not, use the drop-down list and select it as shown. Next, in the Program/Script field, hit Browse button and navigate to the desktop or to the location where you save the Hibernate batch file. Select it and hit Open. Now you are back in the Actions page. And you should see under the Program/Script field, the location of the Hibernate batch file is automatically entered. And remember, during creating the batch file, I said I would explain why we need a batch file here. Well, during my test trials, I found that in some operating system environments, simply entering a shutdown and its argument /h at the program script wouldn't work. The task was executed, but the Hibernate process didn't happen. So, the best alternative was to use a batch file, which is the robust method for any operating environment. If you are new to making batch files, you will find it a bit of a drag as it can be way too tech for newbies. But in this case, there is no way around it. Click OK to close the new Actions page. Go back up and click on the Conditions tab. This opens up the Conditions page where you can set logical conditions to control the system settings. Let's make some important settings to control how the power supply and control systems behave during the hibernating task. Under the Power section, uncheck the Start the task only if the computer is on AC power. This will enable the task execution even if the computer runs on battery. The objective is to save energy and help you achieve safe health. On desktops and all-in-ones, this option may not be present or grayed out because Windows detects it has no battery. Next up, check the Wake the computer to run this task option. This is a vital setting because you may have stopped working on the computer for some time, and your power options may be set for the computer to sleep if it is idle for a given period of time. So, in case if it is sleeping, it will wake up and run this Hibernate task. Hibernate saves the current system state to the system storage and completely powers down the computer. Task Scheduler will also write to the computer's basic input-output system or BIOS an alert about the current state to help start and restore back to the last state so that you can continue your work from where you left off. Isn't that just marvelous? Go back up and click on the settings. For now, we will leave the settings page without making any changes. Click OK. If you have login authentication enabled during boot up or restart, you will get this pop-up to enter your password. Remember, when we were working on the General tab, we enabled Run with Highest Privileges so that this task will be executed without any hindrance to the user. This is the one time that you have to enter your credentials so that task scheduler assumes authority to run the task. As you can see in the username field, I have removed my computer name and username. You should see your computer name and username under that field to confirm you are the user who is currently signed in. Enter your password and the password field. Click OK and the Create Task window automatically closed. Now you should see your task is listed in the Task Scheduler library and it is ready to run at the trigger time. You can select it and view the properties. Important to note, if you have enabled sleep or even hibernate in your power options, those settings will operate as usual. This means that after this wake up task scheduler event, Windows will fall back to the power options settings and watch for any user activity. If the computer has been idle for a period of time set in the power options, it will execute the sleep or hibernate. In this scenario, the user will have to again wake up the computer by pressing a key or the power button. To make it more clear, here's an example. Say you have set the computer to sleep or hibernate after 30 minutes. If you are not around the computer working on it, in a normal case, the computer will go into sleep or hibernate state and you will have to wake it up manually with a keystroke or power button. This task scheduler wake up task event won't cancel that power option setting in any way. So, after the task scheduler event, Windows will resume as normal. I hope this cleared up any doubts you might have had about this. Please do let me know in the comments. Creating a wake-up task is same as the hibernating task with less steps. If you have already closed the task scheduler, start it up. Click on the task scheduler library and click on the Create Task link. Create Task window opens with the General tab already selected. If not, select the General tab. In the name field, type a suitable name of your choice. I'm typing Auto Wake Up. Move down to the Security Options section and select the radio button for Run whether user is logged on or not. And check the box for Run with highest privileges. Select your operating system environment from the Configure For drop-down list. Now move up and click on the Triggers tab. Start a new trigger. Enable Daily Radio button. Change the time to your preference when you want the computer to wake up and leave the date as it is. You might want the computer to start up at a time well before you sit down to work or watch some videos before work. The date is left as it is because Windows will handle it when the day has changed. Click on the Daily Radio button once again to remove the focus from the time field. Make sure the recur every day is set to 1 day so that every day it will happen. Move down and confirm the box for the enabled is checked. Move up and see if the begin the task option is set to on a schedule is selected. If not, use the drop down list and select it. And now click OK. Move up and click on the Actions tab now. Start a new action. In the Actions field, select Start a program if it is not selected by default. In the Program/Script field, type cmd.exe. Means command to start up the command prompt. In the optional Add Arguments field, type /c space exit. This process will exit the task. Click OK. Move up and click on Conditions tab. Under the Power section, uncheck the Start the task only if the computer is on AC power, like in the Hibernate task. We don't want it to not run when it's on battery. Again, this option will vary depending on the type of computer you are creating this scheduled task on. Check the box for Wake the computer to run this task. Move up and select the Settings tab. Here again, leave everything as it is for this phase. Click OK. And at the Login dialog, confirm your computer's name and username and enter your login password as you did for the Hibernate section. And click OK. The Create Task window will now automatically close. Find and select the task under the Task Scheduler library and check the readiness and the properties if they are correct. Mind you, if you make any changes, you may have to enter the password once again. Just a reminder, just as the Hibernate task, this event will not alter or replace any power options settings you have set in Windows, such as for Hibernate or Sleep. This task is the task scheduler event. Once this is executed, Windows will resume as normal and adhere to the power option settings. You have completed the initial steps to create automatic hibernation and wake up schedules. Let's move on to the next step, testing. It is important that we run mock trials to confirm that our tasks are running smoothly. It will clear all doubts we have to rest. The steps are the same, except that we tweak the trigger times to 5 to 10 minutes from the current time. Just follow along. Pause the video when needed until you master it. I have also opened the Windows clock so that we can see the tasks being executed in real time. It is vital to grasp the concepts of the Hibernate and Wake Up automation. I strongly advise to first watch this step of the video until the end, and so that you understand clearly all the steps. It is best to watch from another device because once your computer hibernates, you won't be able to follow along until your computer is woken up. Start up the task scheduler if it is not open already. Click Create Task, give it a name like Mock Hibernate Test in the General tab, and follow the same procedures as we did before. Click on the trigger tab. Before we proceed, notice I have opened up the Windows clock. This is to keep track on the real time as the event takes place, so you know what's going on. You can start the Windows clock easily by searching for the clock. In the trigger page, this time leave the one-time radio button selected as shown. This is because we don't need a mock to run every day. Set a time 5 to 10 minutes or as much as required. It must be an estimated time so that by the time you had followed this step and completed, and then wait for the task to be executed, the time should lapse at least 5 minutes. Otherwise, the time would expire while you are still following me and the task will not run. What you can do is set the time to a longer period, such as 15 minutes, and once you've done following me on this step, go back and change the trigger time in the properties to time 5 minutes from the current time if 15 minutes is too long. You will understand as we go through this procedure. In the actions page, start a new action and follow the steps. I am entering shutdown command, as you can see, with the argument /h, so that the system will only hibernate. If you like, try this first and then do this mock again and try the hibernate batch file using the browse button and then navigating to the saved location and selecting it as well. Just make sure that in the program/script field that the file location got automatically entered. In the conditions page, the settings are as the main hibernate task before. Enter the password and done. If you are going to change the properties of the trigger time, you will be asked to enter the password again. This is because the properties of every page is a whole of the task itself. Now we wait and see the task in action. From this point on, we will watch the task execution through the camera in real time for confirmation. Once your computer is hibernated, give it a good 5 minutes and press the power button to start it back up. The time lapse is about 2 minutes from now. You could fast forward if you want about 2 minutes and watch from there if you like. And now the computer has entered the hibernate state. Give it a good 2 minutes and start the computer by pressing the power button. Now that you have learned this step, do it yourself to create this task. Now let's create the mock wake up task. Easy as the mock hibernate task from before. The steps are the same as the main wake up task, except that again trigger times must be set about 5 to 10 minutes from the current time. And if you need, for now, set the times about 15 minutes ahead of the current time, and after you complete creating this step, go back and change the properties of the trigger time as we did in the mock hibernate before you hibernate the computer. The Windows time is running, so we can watch side by side the task execution in real time. Again, let me emphasize the importance of grasping the concepts of these automation tasks, and I strongly advise to watch this step of the video to the end before you start actually creating the task, so that you understand it clearly. Also, watch the video from another device, because once the computer hibernates, you won't have access to the video until the computer wakes up again. Let's begin. Open the Task Scheduler app if it is not opened. Click on Create Task. Give it a name like Mock Wake Up Test in the General tab, and follow the same procedure as in the Hibernate task we did before. Set the security options. Set privileges. Set operating system. Open trigger page. It will be a one-time task, just like in the Hibernate. Set an estimated suitable time until this step ends. Change the properties of the trigger time to from 5 to 10 minutes after this step ends. Check task is enabled. Set the actions as shown. And click OK. Set the conditions. No settings changes. Click OK and enter the password. And you are done. Again, a reminder. If you have set the trigger times to a longer time from the current time during this step and need to make changes, do it now. Here is the important step to this mock. You have to manually hibernate your computer for this task to be executed. This can be done easily. Hit Windows key. In the search type Run and the Enter key. In the open field, type shutdown space /h, and h should be lowercase. Before you click OK, save all work and if required, close other applications. Again, if you are watching this video from the same computer, you won't be able to follow along. So make sure you watch it on your mobile device or on another computer or a TV. Let's watch now in real time the task being executed. Now, click OK in the Run pop-up to hibernate the computer. And we are back. Let's go on to the next step. Now that you have mastered creating tasks in Task Scheduler, I'll give you a little exercise to test your skills. Okay? Without referring to the steps on this video, do the mocks again and change the properties of both the tasks you've just created to hibernate and wake up the computer automatically. The key is to set the trigger times well apart so that there is enough time for the hibernate to be completed and then the wake up task to start and complete. I would advise that you set at least 15 minutes or more apart from each other. For example, the hibernate to trigger at 12 p.m. and the wake up to trigger at 12:15 p.m. This way, you have given more than enough time. Do let me know in the comments what was the result and what issues you encountered and how you troubleshooted them. There are no hard and fast rules. There is a learning curve to everything. Do them as much as you want until you do not need to be referring my video and you will have mastered it. I will demonstrate this in my next upcoming tutorial. The next step helps us identify any issues that may have occurred during the execution of the tasks. It is to check the history of the tasks. Task Scheduler logs all events and on demand makes it available to us. The history is a great way as a reference when we troubleshoot. Here is an example of a history of my mock task. Start up the task scheduler if it's not already open. Click and select the task scheduler library and wait for it to populate with all the tasks. Look for one of your test mock tasks that was just executed and in the center pane double click it. The properties page for it will open up. Click on the history tab. Wait for the history to populate. This may take a while. Remember, on a future date, when you check history of any of your main hibernate or wake up tasks, it will take longer due to the amount of event logging over a longer period of time. Now, as you can see, the history is populated and you can view the headings in the columns, date and time, assigned event ID, the task category, and so on. Specifically, look for the category that shows task completed. This confirms everything went well. You can double click on a task category to see more details and even copy the content and share it with technical staff in case you require troubleshooting support. So, like I said, let me know in the comments what was the result and what issues you encountered and how you managed to troubleshoot them. There are no hard and fast rules, only learning curves, and in time you will master this. I will make a follow-up video to this after I learn what issues you had. Also, visit my website, theithelpguide.com, for free troubleshooting tips. Since you have come this far watching this video, here are some bonus tips. If you decide you don't want the computer to hibernate at the trigger time because you need to extend your working time a bit longer, when you see the alert for the hibernate task, start the run command by pressing Windows key and R key, which will open up the run dialog. Type shutdown space /A and then hit the enter key. This will cancel the hibernate task and you can continue to work. If you opt to do this, you will have to manually put the computer to hibernate state after you are done working on the computer. Task scheduler will continue as usual with the next task of waking the computer automatically the next day. To hibernate the computer, when you are done with your work, type run in the search box again, and on the pop-up run dialog box type shutdown space and /H and hit the enter key or click OK. The computer will now go into the hibernate state and wake up on the next wake up scheduled task. Another specific scenario you might run into, especially if you are using a laptop, the computer will wake up as scheduled in the wake up task, but you might find the power light if there's one in your computer is off, and even after pressing a key or clicking a mouse button there is still no response. Simply plug in the power adapter. Many laptops, even when on a full battery, require AC power to fully wake up and turn on all components, including the display. This is a deliberate design choice in the computer's power management system as a safety feature. Also, this can happen if the computer has been idle past the usual power options settings after the wake up, like I mentioned in an earlier step. Doesn't mean you have to keep your laptop plugged in all night, as your practice of managing a battery charge is a good one. It simply means that if the display doesn't immediately turn on, plug in your power adapter and the screen should come to life right away and restore your desktop from where you left off. Why do you want to remove the power adapter? That's an excellent question. The reason I practice removing the power adapter is simple: battery longevity. Most of our mobile devices today use lithium-ion batteries, and while their power control systems are designed to prevent overcharging, not all manufacturers' safeguards are foolproof. An overcharged battery can degrade over time, which shortens its overall lifespan and can lead to performance issues. By taking a proactive step like unplugging the power adapter, you are ensuring the battery stays within its optimal charge range. It's a simple habit that helps protect your equipment, ensures uninterrupted work, and ultimately keeps your digital device running flawlessly for years to come. What if you want to start work earlier than the normal time? You can plug in the power adapter, press the power button to start the computer, and continue to work. When the scheduled time reaches for the wake up task scheduler will run the task and log a history instance which you can later check on to see the history. Let me know in the comments what you saw. Starting your computer before the scheduled wake up task doesn't interrupt anything. If you wanted to start your work earlier, you can always switch on your computer and start working. In this tutorial, we learned how to automate our computer to hibernate and the wake up. I would like to know your comments about this tutorial. Let me know if it was helpful and what obstacles you encountered, and if you were able to troubleshoot them all or you need my assistance. I'll be happy to help. Please do visit my website theithelpguide.com where you can find more troubleshooting tips. It is periodically updated. Thank you for staying with me to the end, and please do subscribe if you haven't yet, and click on the bell icon so that you will get notifications when I upload new videos.